Well, welcome to A Simple Life. The boys are with me, and so is Merle. Well, that's just his butt. But it's a little bit of some happy moments. Merle's coming up to Herman's for the first time in I think almost 10 days. I think it's been 10 days since he's been up here. And so we are super stoked to be able to bring him back up here and let him back onto the property that he loves to guard and work so well. It's about time, and the reason why I say it's about time is last night, for the first time in a few months, I saw a bear on one of my cellular trail cams. So for me, it's time for him to be back up here. He's a very, very, very important part of us keeping our goats and our trees and everything healthy and protected. And so now he doesn't protect the trees per se, but he does keep the bears out of them, which is very important to me because I already lose enough trees just because of frost and, you know, snow damage and stuff like that, and old age and being badly pruned for such a long time. Or I shouldn't say badly, it wasn't a bad pruning, it was just a lack of pruning for so many years. Anyways, we are up here, and Herman will get to have his buddy back too. Why don't you unclick his collar for me, Clint, and he'll come out this door. Watch out, because he's gonna want to come out this door.
Oh, no, talk to me.
Come on, Merlesy. Come on, Merlesy. Say hi to your buddies. Oh, there he is. There he goes.
He's back kicking. Oh.
Now we're back.
Yeah, he's back kicking.
Yes, he is.
You doing okay?
He's doing excellent.
Oh, good. Y'all just leave him here.
Yeah.
They're used to each other.
Okay, so the only thing we have to do, beyond Merle letting everybody know that he's still the alpha dog around here, is we have to put his wireless collar back on, and so it actually just attaches to his regular collar. So the way I set it up is so that he only has one collar ever. He doesn't need to wear two collars. It's just easier. And the collar I'm using, or the charger I'm using, is made by Sport Dog. It's set up for a 100-acre property. This is 80 acres. It works really well up here. So I'm gonna attach it. All right, let's get him set up. Merle, come here, boy. Come here. All right, so he doesn't have his collar on, but I'm gonna show you what I do. This is, you can get these on Amazon. I'll leave a link on Amazon for these. I love these collars. They're a nylon webbing with a plastic covering it and a reflective strip. I like the reflective strip so I can see my dogs at night very easily by hitting them with a spotlight. If my dogs are out in the field and I hit a spotlight and I see a white stripe, I know it's my dog. So what I've done is I've just punched 2 holes in the middle of this, and I punched it so that way the brass portion of the collar sits on the top of the neck as best as possible. So that sits on top of the neck, to the side, actually, it's actually a little bit to the side, and when this sits on the bottom. And then this will just go, the way I've set this up is it just sits on the collar, and the holes are big enough to fit over those rings. And then the washer goes on and screws in, and I do the same thing on this other side. Now, I've been trying this method of attachment out for 9 months or so, 8.5 months, probably about 8 months, and it's worked out really well. I haven't lost a collar, I haven't lost any of the little nubbies on it. My dog hasn't left this property. Before I was using these, we did have an issue with the dogs wandering off the property. They didn't wander very far, but they wandered usually to the next farm. And while that's not a problem with my neighbors, it became a problem when somebody stole Arlo. And so I had actually already started working on the invisible fencing when Arlo was stolen, but there's nothing I could do. I wasn't done. At the time I just hadn't had time to finish it. We had some nice weather and I'd gotten most of the wire, or I gotten all the post up around the perimeter, but I hadn't gone and put the wire up. And so I don't bury the wire, I put it up so I can see it. If there's a break, it's a lot easier to fix when you're not trying to dig for it. And I can just walk along and feel the wire, see where it's broken, where it's been torn down by a bear or something like that. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get this back on him and then we're gonna go down and have some dinner with Herman. It's Sunday night, so come on, Merle. Come here, buddy. Come here, Merle. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, Merle. Hey, come here. Come here.
He's a stray.
So he doesn't like to be caught by his collar. I know that. So I'm just gonna. Oh. He's never. Don't hold him. He's never liked to be held by his collar. So he's not happy about me holding by his collar right now. That being said, he's not gonna like do anything about it. And I just want to make sure that this is tight enough so I have contact, but not so tight I'm going to create sores on his neck, because this is on 24/7. This doesn't come off. There's not a day that this is off. This is on all the time. So I need it to be just tight enough so that way. And he's lost some weight, so I'm actually going to go one hold tighter. It's summertime and he's lost some fluffiness too, so I'm going to go one hold tighter than what it was at. And then I'm gonna feel it and make sure I have plenty of room. I can get both hands underneath there. So he's got plenty. This just needs to vibrate. Really, the vibrate's the big portion. Those probes are long enough to get in, and I have it turned up. I have the perimeter turned up pretty high. Mostly because once he knows the perimeter's there, I don't want him testing it again. He knows where the perimeter's at. He feels that vibrate for 6 feet, and then he feels a shock. That's what it is. It's actually not a shock. It's more of a buzz. It's not super bad. I felt it. I've put it on my neck and walked up to it before, and it's not that bad. These two are trying to figure out who's boss. Oh, it looks like Frida wants none of it. Oh, I am so concerned. We might have a tail wagging contest going on. You see all those tails wagging? Everybody's okay.
Stay down. Stay down.
All right, we're gonna take Herman down to our place and get some dinner. All right, we'll see you guys on the next episode of A Simple Life. Have a good night. So I'm up here driving home, and I have permission to be on this property. I would not be on this property if I didn't have permission to be up here. The gentleman who owns it's like 200 and some acres. He said, put cameras up, do whatever you want. I don't care. Which is great. But there was like 3 spikes right over this bale of straw right here. I'm gonna pop up and see if I can get an image of them for you guys. This isn't a hunting channel, but let's see what we got. Oh yeah, see, the one is right there. He's staring right at me. And then to the right is a spike, and to the left is another spike. And I'll try to zoom in and get better images. Oh, they're going back to eating. Typically, there's a little, he's about 2, maybe 2.5-year-old 4-point, beautiful 4-point. For this area, we don't get much of them. And I actually know, I'm pretty sure I know who his dad is. His dad got hit by a truck last year. If it's who it is. I've been talking with a neighbor about him, but anyways, so that 4-point, he's safe this year. I have no plans of harvesting him this year. To be honest, I want him around as long as possible. I want as many of his offsprings as possible, because he's a beautiful 2-year-old 4-point. Anyways, this ain't a hunting channel. I just saw these guys sitting out in that ryegrass field and figured I'd sneak up on them and try to get them on camera. All right, have a good night.